In today's video, I want to share some journaling tips that are going to really help you with overcoming adversity or dealing with challenges or difficult situations in life. Life can often throw us something that we don't expect. It can really interfere with our plan. And for me, I find that journaling is the difference between denying a setback when it comes and thriving in the face of a setback. So if you want to motivate yourself in the face of a challenge or re-motivate yourself, then grab your notebook and get settled. So the first thing to understand is that greatness doesn't actually come from strength. It actually comes from weakness, it comes from limitations, and it comes from failure. It's what we put in place to tackle these weaknesses and failures that actually enable us to have that greatness. So I think it's really important to be aware of this, that when you are finding yourself challenged or you do find yourself facing adversity, it's that very adversity that's going to give you the opportunity to achieve greatness. And for me, I find that really useful to know. Many of the writers or the creative entrepreneurs that I work with, they might be facing rejection. So a project that they've been working on for a few years doesn't get that green light, and it does feel really challenging. And it might be that they have been working on a business venture and it just didn't get the results that they'd anticipated. And so they will be struggling at that point. They'll be struggling with the energy to pursue their dreams. They might be feeling really overwhelmed. They might be feeling like they've made a mistake committing to this creative path. Now, all of this can actually make us great if we are able to respond to it in a specific way. And so that's what I mean about greatness coming from these weaknesses or these limitations or these setbacks. So these adversities or these rejections, they feel challenging because they essentially dig at who we are. But if we learn to see it differently, we're going to actually be able to come out of this feeling great. So for example, say we get a rejection. That rejection is digging at who we are in its initial form. And so we might say, I'm a failure, rather than to understand that it's simply something that happened. It's not who we are. So rather than I'm a failure, we can then become I'm someone who has overcome a failure. So we go from the setback or the rejection being a part of what we might refer to as our identity. I am a failure, rather than, I'm actually someone who has overcome a failure. So the failure is out here rather than something that I am. And that is what journaling really helps us do. It makes us make that separation between the who, the setback, creating the who of who we are, rather than defining who we actually want to be. So this is a really nice journal prompt to do. And I would suggest you certainly want to take at least 5 minutes with this. I might go for a whole page. So it takes me around about 15 minutes to write a page in my notebook. So if I really want to get the benefit of this, and certainly when we're looking at overcoming adversity, we want to give ourselves time to really shift our mind and our way of thinking in this area. So I would suggest taking around 5 to 15 minutes with this journal prompt. So whenever you feel challenged by something, a really great journal prompt is, how can I create a powerful who from this situation? So you might start to journal and get clear, like, what's the who that this challenge is making me think I am? So with that example, it's making me think I'm a failure, or it might be that it's, this setback, I didn't get the job that I wanted to, it's making me think I'm not good enough. So then we switch it into, how can I create a powerful who from this situation? We start to think, okay, it's not I didn't get this job, so I'm not good enough. I'm learning to become someone who finds a way to achieve the life and the career that they want. And so you start to really journal on that, like, oh wow, if I am learning to become this person, like, how am I going to be doing that? And you have this beautiful conversation with your journal. So for me, that's a really great one for overcoming adversity. How can I create a powerful who from this situation? So you're starting to journal on who you're becoming rather than who you think you are in the face of this adversity. The next journal prompt that I find really useful is it's around how challenges that when they come and they interfere with our plans, they can also really cause us to question why. So we might be thinking, why did this happen to me? So that would be in that first place of denial. At the start of the video, I said the journaling makes the difference between denying the challenge or the setback and thriving in the face of this adversity. So when we're starting to think, why did this happen to me? That's us really in a place of denial, like why me? Versus choosing to thrive might mean reminding ourselves why we do what we do. So the why has got a totally different color to it. So it might be that I'm on an inquiry with a client, and the client says, I've had a think about it, but I'm not interested in joining your coaching program right now because of X, Y, and Z. So I can get off that call and be like, why didn't they sign up? Why didn't they say yes? Or I can come off that call and think, why do I do what I do? Why do I have my business? Why do I offer coaching services? Why do I do work enabling people to transform the way that they think? And suddenly I'm getting really motivated. I'm being reminded of why I do what I do and why I love it. And the more we start journaling in this place, we really start to get ourselves motivated. Whenever I take time to journal on why I do what I do, I literally come to the bottom of the page and I'm just like, get out of my way. Nothing's going to stop me. No amount of no's is going to make me quit, because my reason for doing the work that I do is so strong. And that's because I've journaled on it a lot. This isn't a case of like, do it once, take a pill and everything's fixed. These are journaling prompts that you now have in your toolkit for when those challenges do arise. So choosing this way, it really helps your mind come out of that pattern of thinking where you might be like, why is this struggle happening to me? And it might be that you're thinking, why is no one noticing me? Like I'm trying to sell my services. I'm trying to get myself out there online and sell products. Why is no one noticing me? So I then, say for example, it's a client that they've come to work with me because they're not showing up online. Like, why is no one noticing me? I'll say to them, what is it? What is it that's important to you about your services? Why do you do what you do? And they start to tell me, well, I'm just like, I really want to change the way people talk about mental health, or I really want to help young mothers feel that they can thrive whilst being a young mother. So they start to get really fired up. So here's the second journal prompt that I just find really useful. And again, you want to take between 5-15 minutes with this one. And it's one that you want to come back to and explore over and over. So think of a current setback, something that you yourself have found yourself thinking, why me? Why is this happening to me? How can you form an empowering why from this setback? So explore the reason behind why you do what you do. And really give yourself time with this one. And like I said, you definitely want to do it more than once. So lastly, I want to say a little thing about confidence, because I find this is something that I've noticed when I do these specific journaling prompts to help with challenges or to help with setbacks or adversity. I always feel more confident at the end. So I know that there's a beautiful link here, which is why I wanted to bring confidence in. The thing about confidence is a lot of people don't understand it's something that you can grow. We sort of think, oh, well, I'm not confident, that's it. I just don't have it. But it's to understand that confidence is something that you can grow. So if if a setback occurs, it can really turn up the volume of those negative or those critical thoughts inside our head, and that inner dialogue can become quite disheartening. And again, that really diminishes our confidence. And so it can often make us feel quite powerless, can often make us feel quite childlike. I know when I'm facing a setback, I can feel quite vulnerable, like a little girl, like I remember I used to feel as a child, and I didn't have much confidence as a child. So for this area, it really helps to focus on what did work. So it may be that life has thrown you something that you didn't expect, or you didn't get the result that you wanted. And our brain can really slump into negativity and not feel that confidence, and it can start to focus on the worst. And so this journal prompt, it starts to bring your attention to what was working, or what did work, or what you can take, or what you can learn and improve or reiterate and try again. And so we're bringing our attention away from the voice that's saying, it's never going to happen, there's something wrong with me, it's never going to happen to me. And then we're literally reprogramming our mind to focus on the evidence that things are working, or proof that you are making progress. And the strange thing that people find when they do this journal prompt is like, actually, yeah, there was something good. Like, weird, I didn't see it before. Like, I was so focused on how irritated I was that I didn't get the result I want, that I actually didn't even realize that I got half of the result I wanted. And so these few things that I did, like, I want to make sure that I keep doing those, and then just not do that one thing that I did. So when it comes to what you're trying to achieve, I find it really useful, again, take 5 to 15 minutes to journal on things that you are in control of and things that are working. So what things are you in control of, and what things are currently working? And doing this on a regular basis means that your attention is going to start being trained to go where you want it to go. So those 3 journal prompts, for me, I find them wonderful for really training my resilience, really bringing out the greatness in me, helping me overcome those weaknesses. I would love to hear from you what you've got out of these journal prompts. So perhaps you've taken some time while you've been watching the video to jot some notes down, or you want to go away and try the journal prompts. But please share in the comments below, what are you learning from doing these journal prompts? And if you like the idea of finding a way of living where you can create and live and earn the way that you want, and you like the idea of doing more journal prompts, then I think you're going to really love my masterclass. It's free at the moment. You can find it in the comments below. There's a link, and you can jump over to that landing page, fill in your details, we'll send it over to you, and you can start watching it straight away. It's 45 minutes, and it's going to bring you tons of clarity in terms of the next steps that you need to make if you are trying to develop a creative career. So enjoy these prompts, enjoy stepping into your greatness, and I really look forward to seeing you next week. Take care till then.